morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing? All right, so I guess the reason why, at least now, not last year, but now asked to speak to people is because people kind of think of my story as kind of inspirational, and they want me to help inspire people. But I don't have much really to offer you in the way of inspiration in a traditional sense. You know, there are a lot of people who are supposed to be inspirational, but they're selling to you, right? So I don't have that Oprah Winfrey type thing going on. I'm not selling you anything. But the truth of the matter is, what I'm going to offer you is just my vision of how you become successful, and you don't have to pay for that. And I think that it's actually closer to what would help you to be successful than any of those things that you would pay for. So I'm not asking you to go to the Church of Gary, like the Church of Oprah or the Church of Joel Osteen or whatever. Basically, to me, it comes down to this, and this comes from the cultural things that were in my life that were outside of my family. So the two major influences on me as a young person outside of my family were my Christianity and hip-hop, right? And when I talk about Christianity, people kind of go, when I talk about hip-hop, people go, what are you talking about? But the truth of it is, if you listen to hip-hop, and some of it is garbage, but if you listen to it, there is in hip-hop a certain ethos. And there is always in the music a sense that you can do something different. Now it runs all the way through hip-hop. It runs through the words that are being said and the way that the music is produced. So, for instance, if you hear a song and the song's not hot, you know what they do with the song. They take that song and they bring a new person to put a new verse on that song. They take that song and they put a new track under the song. They flip that song until that song is hot. They remix it. And that's exactly what I tell people. So I spoke at a graduation about 2 weeks ago, and I started talking about remixing things. And my view of life is when it's not working, I remix it. I find a different way to approach it. I find a different way to talk about it. I find a different way to make it hot. And when I first started talking about this, the parents are like, what in the world is this guy talking about? Especially since I spoke about Soulja Boy. Oh, Lord. That's exactly. But Soulja Boy has a song, and I don't like most of what Soulja Boy says, but he has a song that reminds me of myself. And that is one of his later songs, and it's his swag song. So, but this is important that you think about what these people are saying, because Soulja Boy in the song says he hops up out of bed, he turns his swag on, he takes a look at the mirror and he says, "What's up?" That's what I do. It is, because the things that you have to battle in life, you have to have that attitude. You have to be able to jump up and look at yourself and say, "I'm all right. I'm going to be able to do this thing." We too often cut those people down. Soulja Boy says he has another verse. He says, "I put my team on." He starts talking about putting his boys on. And to those who understand what Soulja Boy is talking about, that's no different than what I'm doing at the state legislature. What I'm doing at the state legislature, after I get up in the morning, I check my flush. What I'm doing at the state legislature is making sure that the people in my community can get the things that they need. That's putting my team on. When you look at what they're doing in that music, it is a soundtrack in some ways to the life that I'm leading. And it should not be something that's looked upon as negative. Now, I combine my hip-hop ethos with my Christianity. But I think about Christianity sometimes in some ways differently than other people. I think about the Jesus of Matthew, where he says, "I've come to bring a sword." And I don't think about that sword as a physical sword. I think about that sword as agitated. Because Jesus was agitated. Jesus wasn't just this guy that walked around talking about peace. Jesus talked about not bringing peace. But the kind of disturbance that Jesus was talking about was a righteous disturbance. And so, for me, I combine the hip-hop, I'm going to be able to do whatever I have to do, and if you come at me, I'm just going to brush my shoulder off type attitude with the disturbing righteous. And when you combine those two things, you get a different type of person. A person who, when, you think about doing the death penalty and people threaten to kill me, say, "That's your business." Actually, what I said to them, it was a radio interview. When I heard the radio interview, I thought, wow, it sounds a little more bold than I normally am.